Vlog Nation. Because I don't feel convicted. Yeah. I was under coercion. All right, guys. Today's the 27th. Make sure you get your dates on your notes. Mm-hmm. This is lesson 1.6. This is B1. We are talking about absolute value equations today. Anybody tell me just off the top of their head how they would describe what an absolute value is? Well, that's not exactly how I would describe it. Don't give them a mistake. Okay, next try. Anybody want to try and describe what an absolute value is? Yeah.
How far a number is away from zero and number one.
That's perfect. Okay, so absolute value is it? Absolute value, you can kind of think of it as like a distance measurement. Okay, so an absolute value is just how far away a number is from zero. Okay. The steps that we're going to take to solve an absolute value, as far as solving an equation, all those steps will be the same. Okay. There is one slight difference to what you do with an absolute value problem, and that's what we'll get into today. So, first you want to make sure that the absolute value expression is isolated. Isolated means what? Yeah, by itself. Okay, so you're trying to get the symbol all by itself on that side of the equal sign. So, for instance, this example for number one, that absolute value symbol is all by itself on that side of the equal sign. Okay. Then after you do that, step 2 says that you're going to set the inside equal to both the positive and the negative numbers from the other side of the equation. So what that means is, if I'm looking at number 1, okay, when it says set the inside, what they're saying is the inside of everything, like everything inside of the absolute value symbol. Okay, you're going to set it equal to everything over on the other side. So I would set this equal to x equals 2, but I'm also going to set it equal to the negative version, so x equals negative 2. Okay, step 3 says to solve. On number 1 down here, there's not anything to solve because x is all by itself already. Okay, and then you're going to write your answer as a solution set, and I'll show you the notation for that. Okay, a solution set is going to say x is equal to, and then you are bracketing both of your answers. The preferred notation is for you to put your, I don't know why that looks so weird. Your preferred notation should be the lowest answer first, biggest answer second, but that won't count against you for a grade. Okay, that's just the preferred notation. Just do the best you can. Just do the best you can. You can just do 1 point. 2. A bird. There you go. There you go. So you will get. It's beautiful. Yes. Sure. Thank you for waiting till after we started. Well, it's nobody else's fault. Okay. So we just did number 1, kind of. Okay, so let's look at number 2. Okay, so your first step is to make sure the absolute value symbol is all by itself. Check. It is. Okay. Your second step is to make sure that the absolute value symbol is all by, I just said that. Now your second step is to set everything on the other side, okay, equal to the stuff on the inside. So we got m equals 14, but we would also have m equals negative 14. And we would write our answer as m equals the set -14 and 14. So why are we using brackets instead of parentheses? Thank you. Well, so when I ask that, typically it means is because if we used a different symbol, it would mean something different. So if I said that this was our answer, what does that look like? Yeah, it looks like an ordered pair, right? Okay, which like a point, okay, on a graph, which means you're saying that this is an x and this is a y. We're not working with x's and y's. We're just working with one variable, and that variable is m. M just has two different answers. Okay, so if you're saying that one particular variable has multiple answers, then you need to use a bracket because then it's like you're listing them. Okay, rather than saying that they go together. So let's look at number 3. What's different about number 3? Yeah, so we're going to have to do a little bit of algebra now, okay? So first, we make sure the absolute value symbol is isolated. Do we believe that it's isolated? So here's what you want to look for. Is there anything outside the absolute value symbol on that side of the equal sign? No, you're only concerned with the symbol. Is the symbol isolated? It doesn't matter what stuff is inside the symbol. That stuff is almost like we can't see it on step 1, okay? So as long as the absolute value symbol is all by itself and there's nothing outside of it, then we would say yes, it's all by itself, okay? So then we're going to rewrite. Now we have 5z equals 40, but we also have what? Yeah, 5z equals -40. But now, instead of just saying, okay, those are our answers, we actually have to solve for z on both, okay? So how are we going to solve for z on the left side? Divide by 5. 5's cancel out, give us z equals 8, and then we'll just do the same on the right side. Divide by 5, divide by 5, 5's cancel out, give us z equals -8. So your final answer is going to be -8, 8. Okay? Do number 4 on your own. Or with someone you're sitting close to. Hey, great. All right, once you finish, I would like for you to try either 5 or 6 as well. One or the other.
This one? Yeah, because our parents stay.
So what if I go?
Go, just everybody go.
I don't think that was Petra. All right, I'll put the solution up here for number 4. Don't look up till you're ready. Ooh. Let's go with a new color. What color? So
Match your hair, Mr. Bennett. You could have matched your hair. Yeah, I see your wig over there. You should put it where?
it's more of a fun Friday sort of thing.
I wasn't here Friday. Neither was I.
You got Instagram.
That's great.
But that's different. I posted you, Mr. Bennett. I posted you on my story 3 whole times.
Oh yeah. Oh my.
He's not going to talk.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I got that.
Okay. All right. There's number 4.
I got that.
Got it right, Mr. B.
Have we finished 5 or 6?
I think I should move down to that.
You don't want to get moved down to pre-algebra?
Oh, I don't. Math 6. I used to be in Math 6.
I never was.
I was in Math 6. And I went into the algebra. So I basically. Me too.
It was really fun at the end of the year.
Yeah, I remember
Who was fun at the end of the year?
Oh, I did that one.
I went from Math.
Why is that, Jabron?
Well, towards the end of the year, we watched this like little show thing. It was like going back in time.
That thing was boring.
It was. I don't think I was there, and I'm glad. No, I was there. Like we did basically nothing.
Yeah, and I had a B all year.
So you're saying you liked that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
You feel like it was beneficial for you?
Towards like the
No.
It taught us a lot. No, it taught us a lot.
It taught us a lot.
Because after state testing, we don't need to be prepared for state testing.
Well, yeah, but you're so here's the thing. I'm not trying to get all like serious, but you shouldn't compare yourself to the state of Oklahoma. Like the state testing should not be like, okay, I did my state testing for the year, I should be done learning. No, I know that's not what you're saying. But like your mindset should be, okay, now I need to get ready for the next thing. You just got to the world test. Yes, that world test when you're a junior is rough. So, I mean, technically, we could call it the ACT and the SAT.
What's the difference?
One is A, the one and the other is S.
SAT and ECT.
All right, I'll put number 6 up here if you were somebody that did number 6. The SAT is more of a reading test. The ACT is more like analytical and skills driven. So when you get in high school, you'll do a lot of SAT vocab prep. That shouldn't hurt you as far as learning what words mean.
Words don't like me and I don't like them.
Well, that's fair. Yep. I mean, I did long division in 6th grade.
I didn't.
Oh, so you're saying why are they doing it so late? They're doing it so late because, like, what was school like for you 2 years ago?
We did not learn division.
It was cool. You were basically at home and learned nothing. Right. So those kids that were supposed to be learning long division were also doing the same thing and they didn't learn it. Okay. By a lot.
No.
What? A small one.
I learned long division in like 4th grade and I forgot it all.
The big ones are for the games. All right. There's 5 and 6. Okay. See how you're doing? How do we feel? Okay, so hopefully we notice from 5 and 6, our answers will not always be just the opposites of each other. Okay, depending on what the equation asks for, will determine your different numbers. Okay. Now, is there a way to check these?
No.
There's always a way to check them in algebra. Okay. You do substitution. It's almost always the go-to answer. Okay. Now, when you're doing checks for absolute value, and I can't tell you that we'll do tons of these types of problems, but when you get into Algebra 2 in 2 years, okay, you'll have to do checks on your absolute value equations, and that's because extraneous solutions come into play. We've talked about extraneous solutions. What are extraneous solutions?
In 2 years?
We wrote it down. Okay, so there are special cases. Okay, extraneous solutions lead to no solution. Okay, and then you could also have another special case, which is infinite solutions, all real numbers. Okay, do 7 or 8. 7 or 8. Ooh, actually, how do we feel? How do we feel about this first page? Boo. Okay, great. Boo. Okay, great. Show me. Okay, then actually we're gonna skip 7 and 8. You seem more mad that I only made you do part of it than making you do all of it.
You're already doing it, and then you said, okay, we're not gonna do it for now.
That's the sunk cost fallacy. Was that?
The who?
The sunk cost fallacy. So here, for those of you here's some relationship advice. Yeah, the sunk cost fallacy, okay, is a psychological phenomena that takes place with people where you've invested so much time. You already know all this, Brian? Okay, be quiet. You've already spent so much time, invested money in maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a project that you're working on, that there actually comes a point where it's better for you to end it, but you feel like because you've already invested so much in it, you just need to see it through. That's the sunk cost fallacy. Okay, and fallacy means that it kind of tricks you into thinking that it's better for you if you stay in it because of how much you invested. So if you get to the point where you feel like you've invested too much time in a relationship, to break up with that person, that probably means it's time to break up with that person. I don't remember why I said it. Yeah, I had a reason, but I forgot. Okay. Say that one more time. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Callie. She doesn't care, so it's fine. Okay. Come back to me, please. Man, literally, I was like 10 seconds away from complimenting you guys on how smoothly class has been going. And now I can't get you to be quiet. Okay. So number 9 and 10, the reason I wanted to flip to this is because this is the first instance where we have something slightly different. Okay. What do we notice is different about this problem? Discuss with somebody you're sitting close to for the next 30 seconds. Follow up to that discussion. What does that mean you need to do in order to solve it the correct way? We got to combine like terms, PINDOS, order of operations. Good luck. Then you'll get the right answer but fail the state test. Then you could have serious consequences, and you probably get your teacher's teaching certificate taken away.
Your teacher's teaching?
Adam was using his phone on the state test, and if he happened to be sitting in my classroom, I'd probably get stripped of my credentials. Oh, good. Sacrifice someone else. Okay. All right. So what did we come up with? Brian, what did y'all discuss? Nice. Somebody help him out with continuing that conversation. So what did we notice was different about number 9? There's numbers on the outside of the absolute value symbol. Okay. So how is that going to change the way that we do the problem, Brian? Right. So we got to isolate it, actually. Right. So if we're looking at number 9, okay, the first step now is the first time that we actually have to do something about it. We're going to isolate the absolute value symbol. So we're going to try and get this all by itself. What do we need to move over? The 2. So we'll move the 2 over. It's going to give us the absolute value of C equals 10. And now, what do we see? It's by itself, right? It's by itself. So, yeah, it's isolated. So now we can write both of our equations.
No, you shouldn't. Please don't.
Okay, try number 10. Don't go on and do number 11 or 12 because I don't want you to confuse yourself. Annie. You're allowed to work on number 10, Yeni, if you want. Oh, okay. I thought you were pouting because I didn't let you play tag with the glue stick.
No, I was gonna get your consent.
After you
Lucky for you, I don't have that choice.
No,
So.
no, you're not.
I don't believe in God, but I believe in my mom. I also have a somewhere else.
Ryan, can you use your inside voices?
Okay, there's number 10. Check yourself. Okay, let's go on to 11 and 12. So, I'm actually going to start with number 12. Okay, so on number 12, we have a -2 outside of the absolute value symbol. We've got z plus 3 on the inside. So we know step 1, we need to isolate our absolute value symbol. What do we need to get rid of? Yeah, we need to get rid of the 2, right? So the way that you need to look at absolute value symbols is as if they are parentheses. Okay, mathematically, that's how they're being applied. So this -2 is doing what to the absolute value symbol? It's being multiplied. So to get rid of it, we're going to divide the entire left side by -2, and then we're going to divide the entire right side by -2. The -2's will cancel out, give us absolute value of z plus 3 equals 7. Now what can we do? Now we can write our opposite equation also. So we have z plus 3 equals 7, z plus 3 equals -7. And then we can finish solving from there. Okay, so you see that number out in front, the absolute value symbol. We just need to recognize that that is being multiplied. So to move it over, we have to undo that by doing division. We'll finish solving both of these. Gives us z equals 4. And z equals -10. Okay, I'm not going to work this whole problem. I just want to make sure we start it the right way. So if you go back and look at number 11, number 11 is a more simplistic one. Okay, again, it's just being multiplied. So you would start it by dividing both sides by 6 to give you the absolute value of x equals 4, and then you could go from there. Okay, but I'm not going to finish that one out. You don't need to either. Okay, your last two for me in, let me see how many we've got left on this section. Oh, good. So your last two for me on this section are going to be number 13 and number 14. Okay, number 13 has the absolute value of 2w minus 4 over 6 equals 3. So what do we need to get rid of? The 6. Okay, try and do it on your own first. How do you get rid of the 6? Okay, if you don't want to write it on your paper, discuss it with your partner. See if you can figure it out.
That's why you put your fingerprints on your eye. See, this is what I should be a homework.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to see if we started 13 the right way. I'm not going to finish it. So, for number 13, who would like to suggest what was the first step? What did you need to do? Brian.
Subtract 6. What? Yeah.
Whoa, don't judge him. So we would say subtract 6 if 6 was being added to the absolute value symbol. Okay? It's not being added. What's happening? It's being divided, so what do we need to do? There you go. Oh no. So
No, we can't do it now.
we're going to multiply everything by 6. Everything by 6. Everything was being divided by 6. So you can multiply everything by 6. Just to get the denominator to cancel out.
That's a thing, right?
How else would you do it?
Calculator.
You're still using your brain.
No.
Yeah, you gotta think about the problem.
Well, yeah, but you're not solving the problem with your brain.
Okay, if I finish out 13, don't look up till you're ready. Oh no, I missed the 2. Okay, 13's up there. Now I would like for you to do 14. Okay, so 14 has 2 different things that you're going to have to move. See if you can figure out the right order to move them in.
Every time I go, I get like 3 patties. Oh, never mind. Don't push me.
Okay, I'm going to start putting number 14 up there in about 30 seconds. So just make sure you're ready to check.
That's what someone else reads. What are you gonna do? Yeah. I didn't do it. I didn't tell her to do it. I just said I was gonna do it. I just said I'm gonna write it.
Okay. Here's number 14.
I think I'm gonna tell Miss Rosa.
Make sure. Okay, come back. Make sure that you are checking. Okay, checking along. You need to add 3 to both sides before you move the 10. Okay. You technically can do either. This one will make your job way easier.
It's your fault. You just
It's not. It's not. I feel it. It's funny to the point where you can giggle. You cannot tell.
You can Google, but you can't.
Yes. The giggle is a nice thing. You're wrong. A chuckle is. No, because a chuckle is giggling it.
Okay. There is the answer to number 14.
Like it's it sounds
Proud of you guys.
I'm not.
You're not proud of them?
No.
Okay. Any questions on those? We just have 2 more that we need to talk about, and then I'm gonna let you get to work on your assignment.
It could be yay.
Okay. I'll scroll back up if you need it in a second. So these are special cases. Okay. In the special cases, we kind of briefly talked about what special cases mean, but I'm going to do some looking ahead. Discuss with the person you're sitting next to, what do you think these special cases are going to be?
It's a briefcase that's special. It has like it has like glitter and stuff. We just did that though. What is special case? I think it's I think it's I have a bunch of JoJo.
My sister did. And I broke them one. Huh? Like a little
Okay. Who's got a guess? Brian. Okay. So we kind of talked about what absolute value really is. Okay. And at the beginning, we talked about absolute value actually just being a measurement, right, from 0. Okay. That being said, measurements cannot be negative, right? So if I'm saying the distance between me and Winter is 6, the distance from Winter to me is also 6, not negative 6, right? It's the same distance. We're just moving in different directions. So along those lines, if we have an absolute value that's equal to a negative number, that is not possible. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That was interesting. Okay. The absolute value of x cannot equal a negative 6. The reason being is if we plug negative 6 back in for x, we would have negative 6, or the absolute value of negative 6 equals negative 6. Okay, and if we finish simplifying that, what is the absolute value of negative 6? It's 6. Okay, does the absolute value of 6, or does 6 equal negative 6? We would say no. Okay, so if it's set equal to a negative number, okay, if the absolute value symbol is set equal to a negative number, it's a no solution. Okay, so for number 18, you kind of have to do a little bit of maneuvering to figure that out first. So what would be our first step to solving number 18? We've already done a problem like this. Yeah, we got to get rid of the negative 3 by doing what? Dividing both sides by negative 3. That gives us the absolute value of 2x plus 1 equals negative 7. Is that set equal to a negative? Yes, it is. So it's no solution. Okay, the explanation is the absolute value cannot equal a negative number once it is isolated. Make sure that makes sense to you, okay? Your homework sheet, if you didn't grab it, is on the counter over by the notes. It is 10 problems, all just solving absolute value. Please show your work. Please don't forget the homework from last class. And I'll say, even to tack onto that, the homework from the last couple classes. Some of us might be starting to get behind. So find some time to carve out before fall break that you get that stuff turned in. They won't be zeros in the grade book until I have finalized grades, and I just don't have them. So keep that in mind. I saw that. It's really colorful now.